The baddest man on the planet used to take people's heads off and get paid a boatload of money. But in this era, which that was the 80s, but in this era, the baddest man on the planet has done what anybody that's smart will do. Take what you do from the physical place, brick and mortar, whatever your hustle is, online, because the online business is very attractive, even to people classified as being the baddest in their industry. Online businesses, e-commerce has trumped anything by being a $6 trillion industry. That's super impressive, because the number one way to find out if an industry is a great industry to tap into, if that industry is making more money than there are people on earth, that's a good industry, because there's 8 billion people on earth. We trumped that just a couple of years ago. Now, when the industry offers $6 trillion, I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why that is. And I'm going to make sure that you guys know how to do this, because we're currently focusing on this aspect because I myself have gone brick and mortar to actually doing the e-commerce world. And I can tell you this, I made a pretty good living physical brick and mortar. There's nothing that I can do in brick and mortar that I can't 500x online, because there's no viral day when you have a brick and mortar, but there are viral times when you have an online presence. And so when you think about why am I not even considering it, this is to people who are actually know that this is the fact of the matter. You see, the most incredible thing about being online, cuz, is not that it's at $6 trillion, which trumps everything, but it is projected just in 24 more months to be at $8 trillion annually. 8 trillion. And the reason why that is because those people who watch this video are going to get off of their ass and go after it. You know, because I'm going to tell you a couple of things that the only thing you need to do to start doing it. I mean, there's nothing like making money when you're asleep. Okay, so it's very rare you can do that if you have a brick and mortar. Everything that's a physical space closes. So I won't even get into that. There's a reason why people like Mike Tyson has joined with other people who are online making noise and just decided to use that that network of people that are watching, and instead of turning them and allowing them just to be fans, you let them buy into the thing that you have. So I'm gonna tell you the number one thing that you'll need when you're trying to start your online presence. And a lot of you have been sitting around like, I want to do it. I know people are crushing it. And yes, people are crushing it. There are some people blowing up their numbers, but just last month, when the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight was on the way, you know, there are people who were making thousands of dollars per video being posted and subscriptions being subscribed to online. People taking courses because there are things they want to know. There's just a bevy of reasons and ways that people will buy into you. So that's one of the reasons community is just so much more effective, because they find out who you actually are. And so if you're a person that has a personality, this is a good method to decide, I want online, I want to go online. And if you're someone who doesn't, you want faceless, you can have a person that works in your brick and mortar that's a thought leader, a person that loves the camera, a person that loves attention, and a person that loves people. And if you have any of these characteristics under your roof, then you're definitely the top kind of candidate. But you have to have willingness. Before I go into the number one thing that you're going to need to do to get started, so you'll be one step closer, is first identify the thing that you actually are going to be doing. And when I talk about this attractive component, all you have to consider is, how will my life be different if more people can get to me? Okay, and that's number one. You gotta just equate that. What will your life be like when you decide that I am going to make this move, and here are the moves that I need to make? So the first thing that most of you guys will need to do is think about what is it that I will offer. So here's a graphic that speaks to where it's at right now. $6 trillion. If you were to get 100,000% of that, your life would be changed forever. Okay, so the fact that from now to 2027, it's going to go up $2 more trillion is insane. But when I was saying earlier that people are subscribing to memberships because it's easy to access. So here's another couple of reasons that I'm going to share with you right here is what you're going to need to do to get yourself started, because we are encouraging our coaches in the group and the guys that we have in our top trainer program. You know, you can't think about the work, because the work is it's going to be working for you. So whatever you have to actually commit to doing it, who gives a damn? Get off your ass, knock that shit out, because working hour for dollar is the least more effective on the totem pole. It's the lowest. It is the bottom feeder. So if you don't have online, if you've been trying to write books and you got all of these, now you have all of these AI assistant opportunities to help you get these things done. So if you got in a book and you haven't turned it audio, well, you're living in the 90s, and obviously you're not going to sell, and people are not going to know about you. I know I've written over 30, and all of our books educate people on an entirely different level. And I don't have my books in audio, but what I do have is my books are actually accessible online. So when people see us, you know, we could connect. So what is it that you're doing that really can connect to people? And like I said, if you don't have someone speaking on the behalf of your company, is your company awesome? Really? Because if it is, why aren't you online? It just makes no sense. It's just like building a mall and not putting any stores in it. No, we just want the name on the highway on a big billboard. It makes no sense. So think about it. And I'm not here to convince anybody who actually isn't interested in it, because that's your loss. Part of that $2 trillion that will hit this market in the next 2 years, we're making sure people get that. And those people who are encouraged, that's who we're helping. Everybody else, hey, cool, it's good to meet you. But here's just a little snippet of what is it that we think people are doing it for. Why has online been such a demand as of late? One of the things is, for one, people actually trust it more or less because you have to stand behind your brand. Number two, the accessibility. The accessibility is so much faster and reliable, and most people want things now. And the third thing is, you see it, you want it, it's easy to actually order. You can order now with one word. You can see it in social media. So these are the reasons that it's going at such an exponential rate, and I don't see it ever slowing down, because people are not going to get more patient. The key is just be ready. And if you're in the world of boxing, this is perfect for you. This is the opportunity that you have to turn whatever you're doing from the brick and mortar world and skyrocket it online. $2 trillion. The expectation is real. So our focus is to prepare our guys. Out of that 8 trillion, let's just make sure we can get each one of our guys $1 million. When it's all said and done, it's all about scaling the business, serving people, and making sure that when they see it, they can get it. Just make sure you know what you got. It's simple, and it makes all the sense in the world. There's no lose to that win-win situation. Just make sure that you can actually be clear on what is it that you're going to show the people that you can do. When your business is going and you shut the doors should continue to be open. We have messages coming in throughout the night. So here's the number one thing that you need to do in order for your business to thrive while you're asleep. So number one, this is define what it is that you're doing. What is your offering? You know, because for me, the world of boxing, if you're in the boxing training world and you're not online, there's a reason why you're probably struggling. because you're not allowing people to say, hey man, I want to rock with you. How do I get in contact with you? There's a young man who just reached out, and they always do. This happens all day, every single day without fail. A guy reached out. I don't even know what part of the country he's from, but he says, I'm coming to Miami this weekend. This weekend here. And he said, I want to get an hour and a half session with you. And, just let me know, and I'll let you know when I'm on the way, whatever. And see, for me, I don't physically train with people. Not online, not nothing. We have a school for top trainers who are trying to scale, the business owners who run gyms. They want to run their business. They want to scale. We've been trying to tell people how to do this for like 7 years, just because we've been online since 2014, 2013, 2014. That's a decade. We've been trying to tell people, because I know this is the landscape of where it's going. The thing about it is, it's just gone on steroids ever since the pandemic and people sitting at home and figuring out. There are a lot of people going online getting a lot of money. People are making shit tons of money. TikTok, Instagram, Metaverse is paying. They have 9, 10 different payout programs that every trainer that I know, every business owner that I actually physically know, no one's making money. They're sending you money throughout every single week. You're getting multiple deposits going into your account, doing the exact same thing that you're doing, but you're not registered and signed up for these things. We take it serious. What this is saying is, I'm becoming a partner with one of the biggest companies. So think about knowing right now what you do good. And is that thing scalable? And I'm going to show you one of our coaches, what we're doing. We've taken him and built his Instagram to 10,000 followers. So you can start with your subscriptions then. So our core offer here, just so it's clear, what we're doing for this coach is he's grown and built his business through our Jab Juice agency, which has helped him learn how to really identify his purpose, his cause, his company's mission, his vision, his quest, win titles with his amateur team, develop them into young men who are astute and conscious. And that's the purpose. It's not about, it's not about money. It's about, it costs to do things. So when you want to do more things, you have to realize, how big is my message? Do you have a 5-mile message? Do you just want to talk to people that are in your facility? Then cool. Why are you watching this stream? If you want to learn how to talk to millions, you're talking to someone who just on Instagram, I've talked to 8 million people in 28 days. 8 million people in 28 days just on Instagram. On Facebook, it was 26 million. And our data, we keep it in our stories. If you want to check our data, we do it every week throughout the week, because we know that people don't know what to do with the people that are watching them. And so therefore everything's monetized, and that's online. So here's what you actually need to do. So define what you're going to do. And this is what we're doing with one of our coaches. And I love the program. The subscription is just going to be badass. And so we're doing this for him because we did it for ourselves.
We need to get into the cornerstone of our footwork drills. This is the foundation. To me, it's the most important footwork drill that you need to work on to develop your boxing game. It is the box step.
Bam. And guess what? You don't have to go to the gym to learn how to box from Coach 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, because that is available at Christmas time on Instagram. And that's going to help them further their mission, further their vision, and conquer their quests, and not have to physically be so stressed about just being in the business, whether you're in the gym business or if you are an entrepreneur that just has a brick and mortar. You don't just have to stress in that. And it also gives the current members options, because maybe they can't afford that 3rd session with you or that 5 sessions with you, but they could subscribe to your online and get a piece of you online so they can stay on track. It's all wins. It's all wins. It just, your story is clearer. And the fact that it's going from 6 trillion to 8 trillion by 2027 tells you how many more people are catching on and how much more people are actually making in it because they're building relationships. And so here are the things that you got to remember when you're doing this. And this doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you're a person, this is just the e-commerce world. Have something, sell something, serve people higher. That's it, man. It's not kumbaya. It's this is the conversations that they want to hear at the bank. So with that being said, here's exactly what you say. Okay, you take this step right here. And don't let anything deter you from doing it, because there'll be things that try to deter you when you're on the right track to finally get freedom financially and actually go outside and decide, I want to go somewhere where it's 85 degrees year round. I want to go where there's nothing but skyscrapers. I want to go where there are nothing but mountains. I want to walk across Plymouth Rock. I want to travel to Monte Carlo. I want to cruise the planet across the seas. I want to get on my sailboat, and I just want to enjoy the fruits of my labor and start embarking in on a quest. Okay, this is how you get to those things. Taking the thing that you do best, and then you take that thing and then you amplify it with optimization and automation. And automation is what we're doing with all of our guys who are in Top Trainer, in our Top Trainer program. The only thing we focus on is keeping those guys ahead of the curve and making sure that they have everything buttoned up, from their brand identity. What is it that you do and who you do it for? What you're great at? What problem is it that you solve? And now let's make sure everybody that hears and sees your videos know that that's what you do. That's what we do. And we just bring a whole lot more people to them. So we are attention brokers, if that makes sense. Now, to the problem at hand, let's make sure that decide to offer, and then whether it's going to be virtual boxing classes, technique tutorials, fitness programs, nutritional guidance, or mindset coaching, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're a videographer and you want to teach videography. Maybe you're a person that wants to teach people how to act. Maybe you're a musician and you want to teach a particular skill set with the guitar or the piano. The thing about it is you've been sitting around wanting to do it, and the only thing you have to do now is put it on the calendar. And that's the first thing that I'm going to guide you guys to do on day one, is just to find out what that thing is. What is it? Which one of those categories is it in, right? And don't let it overwhelm you. This is why I wanted to just do one thing at a time. And there are 3 bullets just in this one line. But if you write that down today and you make that decision today, what's going to happen is you're going to have that marked off your list. And tomorrow you can compound that by adding the second thing. So stay tuned tomorrow, and we're going to go over the next thing that you should actually do. And this is an actionable series. This means we're going to walk with you and talk with you through this thing, because tomorrow we're going to talk about creating your packages, and creating the packages is going to be how the rubber meets the road. All right. And so stay tuned if you want to understand the method of creating packages. And if you've been online and you kind of been avoiding committing wholeheartedly, then this is the time. Because going into 2025, you got to always remember, I have a vision, I have a quest, and that's what I'm here to do on the planet Earth. And in order for those things to happen, the only thing you have to do is have your plan intact. And when you got your plan intact, all you have to do is get up and do that simple thing. And in 10 days, that's 2 work weeks, you'll have 10 things marked off that list. That means your account will start to show. Your bank account and your media account, your internet presence, and the people that are starting to be aware of what you really do and what you really offer. Everything becomes clear. And that's what we call the compound effect. That's it, man. I just wanted you guys to take part and learn that the industry is exploding. And always remember, the best choice is the choice in where the industry is going. And the most fruitful industry is online. So get a piece of the pie, and even a piece will change your life exponentially. Don't sit in the same place that you did in 2024. This is a brand new start. So don't open 2025 like you close in 2024. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. That's all I got. If you have questions, make sure you drop it in the comment boxes. And no matter what happens, it's all about the vision that you're trying to reach, because there's a lot of cool places that you might want to visit and go touch people. And no matter what happens, you have the opportunity to. The blessing is in online e-commerce. The world is yours. Stay focused, stay motivated, and don't stop churning. No one can change your purpose here. Coach Bradley, and I'm out. 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪📵. Peace.